TV and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome with
Hey,
me.
Daryl, what's going on?
Man, another day in the neighborhood. So, last week we spent a lot of time on votes and voting rights and things of that nature.
Sure.
Really want to try to give you, some more information about it. One of the things that we don't understand in life, man, unfortunately, is how hard those rights were to come about.
Oh, man. This is an exciting time for me because it's headed to Black History Month and voting, but it's also causing me to be teary-eyed, too, because of what it cost there. There are innumerable Black people who lost their lives to try and get to this point. So it's an exciting time, and then it's also a sorrowful time when we think about it.
It is, and and we'll delve a little deeper than that, Jerome. Give my shout outs to California, shout outs to Little Rock, Arkansas, shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas, shout outs to Memphis, Shelby County, shout out to Mississippi, shout out to Missouri.
All right.
Shout out to my wife, my mom, shout out to Rome's wife, mom,
hey,
family,
hey,
the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Look, as usual, we thank you for watching the show.
For sure.
And our whole intent on these shows is, like I used to say, we trying to kick some knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
And this voting thing, and it's that time of the season. I think in December they were pulling the votes for the primary.
That's right.
And then in January they're gonna pull for something else. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but anyway, they got this thing open for people that are running for office.
That's right.
And so, and let me just tell you how I've been involved in 3 voting litigation cases.
I knew that you were because as I think about it, you're a civil rights attorney, and I'm a civil rights advocate. And so we blend very well when we're talking about how the vote was fought for and how we're still having to fight. And that's what, you talk about it all the time. Why do we have to continue to fight over the very same things over and over again when it's been, it's in the Constitution, these things?
And here's the problem, because here in Shelby County, right? Shelby County is a primarily Democratic county.
That's right.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But the Shelby County Election Commission is a Republican commission. And most people don't know this, is the commission has 5 people on it. 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Because the governor is a Republican, so they make the person in charge of the election commission Republican.
That's right.
So that's why you have that 3-2. That means that anything involving voting can be controlled by that election commission.
But the beautiful thing about it, it wasn't always that way.
No, it was
at
not.
one point, Democrats were in control, but we lost that. And we lost that because of the apathy that the people had. It wasn't doing what they needed to do. I mean, not just in Shelby County.
No, the state.
But statewide.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah, no, Jerome. I mean, because it's the party that has the governor in the office.
That's right.
That controls it.
That's right.
And, I've been here
We've had a couple of
I've been here
Democratic
25
governors.
years.
We had a couple of
and in
Democratic
25
governors.
years, there's only been one Democrat governor in 25 years. And that was Bredesen. So, and yeah, Bredesen's been it.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Now, that was probably maybe something before him.
Before then.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember
the history, and
tell
I'm
you
not
the
a
truth.
Tennessean,
Yeah.
so I don't know that kind of history. But anyway, to show you how we're still struggling on the vote issue is as recent as, like I said, a couple years ago, we had to sue the election commission because what they were going to do is, so it was early voting, and a lot of the black churches have early voting and they have those sites open. Well, what the election commission decided to do is we're just going to close some of those sites.
That's right. That's right.
Not any of the, other sites. They just some of the black church sites, because the black churches was going out and picking people up in buses, just doing whatever they needed to do to take the vote. So, that's why this makes this an interesting topic.
Oh
bro.
man, without a doubt, Derek. Yeah. And the thing about it is that what people know is that if I have to keep fighting over and over again for the same thing, at some point I'm going to tire out. And I won't be so adamant about fighting for it, because in my mind, no matter how much I fight, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And I think many of our people are like that, Daryl.
Well, so and think about it from this perspective. Okay. The Constitution came in effect in 1776.
That's right.
And in 1776, even though, we talk about the Constitution being a living document, the right to vote was already there.
That's right.
Because it says the right to vote is it says man. And at that point it was man. They said man and woman meant the same thing.
That's right.
Even though women didn't have the right to vote. But that's another story. Then
that's another show too.
Well,
we'll do another show on
that
too.
Well, we still have to talk about.
That's right.
So 1865, we get the 13th Amendment.
Well, there, before you get there, because you said the Constitution says every man had the right to vote. But remember, black people were not considered.
That's my point.
As a man.
Yeah.
They were 3/5 of a human.
That wasn't in the Constitution.
I know it's not the Constitution.
Yeah, that was what man decided to say.
Oh.
There is nothing in the Constitution
about 3/5 human,
or men or women.
Okay.
There's nothing in the Constitution. It's a vague document, so it can be living, so it can live. I give you these rights, but I don't say black, white, green, blue, brown. I don't say any of those things. I say man. Or later on when they did the 19th Amendment, they specifically put the right to vote, and they put in there women.
But that's the first time we've seen that
distinction.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Because the 13th Amendment, basically that was the abolishment
of slavery.
Okay. And then right behind that, the 14th Amendment. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 14th Amendment, which gave everybody, and here's why, I don't even know why we even needed the 19th Amendment. Because the 14th Amendment says equal for all people. And that's the thing about the 14th Amendment. It equalized everybody.
But we're having the same argument again about the 14th Amendment, because we call that birthright citizenship.
Right.
It's being challenged now,
right,
whether it means what it means.
Yeah.
With this living document, they can change it around if the Supreme Court allows it, can't they?
Right. It's all interpretation, and it's funny you say that, Jerome, and that's the whole issue. The Constitution, again, those guys were really on top of it in 17, when they wrote this thing.
Right.
Really on top of it, because here's a document that has survived over 200 years.
Yeah.
Actually 200 and almost 250 years.
250 years almost.
And it's still, that core document is still what we have.
Right. Right.
Now, what the Supreme Court has done over those 250 years is give interpretations on each aspect of that document. Before, when Roe versus Wade, they were saying that people had a fundamental right to privacy, and that's how they got to Roe versus Wade. So they used that as the First Amendment, So they took the First Amendment and kind of played with it to get there.
Right.
But and I know that there's nothing in the First Amendment that talks about privacy.
Right.
But that's how they kind of did that.
And that's also the way they did same-sex marriage too. It came from the same privacy type argument.
Privacy type argument.
Yeah.
And I would assume that it also came from the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
You know, because the 14th, you know, and what happens is all, you know, when you said everybody's about to be treated equally, right? And then everybody gets due process under the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
So that's where it came in. And you can use a whole lot of stuff, because if you say men and women can get married, then
why can't man and man?
Man and man and woman and woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
exactly.
because
that was the argument.
The Constitution.
So we got a call.
Well,
all right.
So the call says, the police didn't read me my rights when they arrested me. Can't my charges be dismissed because of that?
That's interesting. It came from a Supreme Court case, Miranda versus, you know the other name of it?
That's Arizona.
Yeah, okay, so that's where the right came from, where when a person is in custody, they have a right to certain things, and their rights should be read to them. But I think they are relaxing that somewhat now, too.
Okay, so here's the first question. Do your rights have to be read to you when you're arrested? The short answer is probably not.
Well, not read to you, but they must at least
told to you. The short answer is there's a possibility they don't have to, because you have a right to remain silent, right?
Right.
So if I got you in custody, I don't ask you any questions, I just send you to jail, I don't have to read you your rights. I'm not asking you any questions. You know, they do that because everybody's stupid. I mean, people just get stuck on stupid. Because they
just start talking.
When they say you have a right to remain silent, that means shut up. You know, but what happens is people talk.
Start talking.
And so if the police want to use that talking against you, they got to give you your Miranda rights.
Okay.
If you start talking and I'm not asking you questions, I can use that against you.
And I got my body camera on.
Yeah, I ain't ask you no questions.
Okay.
If you just running off at the head, and I got it all captured, that's evidence against you.
I don't feel that there.
Well,
I don't feel that.
Well, here's the thing.
And the reason why I don't feel it is because whenever I'm detained, I'm under arrest.
Not necessarily.
If the stop lasts longer than what it takes to write my ticket or chastise me, then I am being detained, and so I'm under arrest. So when I'm under arrest, aren't you supposed to then read me my rights because I've been arrested?
Okay, so, and see, you're skipping steps, and that's what people do.
Okay.
Okay, you know, you arrested, right?
Right.
Or you in custody, but am I asking you questions?
Well, first of all, I have a right to know why I'm being arrested.
Now, you do have that right.
Okay.
But that's not what he asked.
Okay.
He said if they didn't read me my rights, can the case get dismissed? And let me just tell you, even if the short answer was yes, and I don't think the short answer is yes. I think the short answer is no. And
maybe.
Or we can even do maybe. And we can fight over that because here's the issue. Miranda has so many holes in it and so many exceptions to it. For instance, if I didn't read you your rights and you start talking, then there's an argument that anything you said to me can't be used
against you.
However, if I would have obtained it anyway, through other sources, other means, then
I agree with that.
Yeah.
As long as you don't use the conversation that I said.
Yeah. But if I arrest you, and so and this was what Jerome was saying, and the police play real loose with this.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, they'll say, well, I didn't arrest you, I had you detained.
Oh, well, they can lie to you.
Or I had, you know.
Yeah, the police can lie to you.
Yeah, I'm just detaining you.
Right.
Well, you ain't detaining me if I can't leave.
Right. That's exactly right.
If I cannot leave, I'm arrested.
Right.
And I think if you want to ask those questions.
And I think what's missing here too is, am I able to leave?
Yeah. Right.
Can I go?
Right.
Then that verifies that I am
I'm
under arrest.
Right.
Okay.
And if you say you can't go,
That's right.
you can't detain me. You're not detaining me.
That's exactly right.
And they think that detaining means something different than what it means.
Right.
It means detaining means it's restricting my ability to move.
That's exactly right.
So, so I'm going to back up. So what Jerome is saying, I may even agree with you, Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
The short answer may be you need to read my Miranda rights. Now, I think I can make an argument why you don't have to.
Okay,
but
I think so.
Let's just say, hypothetically, you
Okay.
have to read my Miranda rights,
Okay.
right? And you don't read my Miranda rights. Do my charges get dismissed? And the short answer to that is absolutely no.
Well, again, not absolutely, Darren.
It's absolutely,
Darren, now, remember.
You say charges now, not. There's a difference.
Right.
Do my charges get dismissed? Miranda doesn't throw out your charges.
But
Miranda throws out the statement, the documents, the information that was used that you gave them.
I'm not fighting you on that.
Okay,
What I'm
okay.
fighting you on is there are no absolutes.
I think it's absolute on that one.
I don't think so. I don't. But
look, challenge you.
And the reason why there are no absolutes is because we know that it could be something else too that would require that the charges be dismissed.
Okay.
First of all,
we normally, and I get what Jerome
you see what I'm
said.
saying? Because the stop could have been a fake stop.
That's not the question though, Jerome.
The question is solely the fact that
if you did not read my rights,
then the answer is no.
That's what I was.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it really
Solely
narrow.
on whether they read you your run rights. The answer is no. It won't be dismissed on that.
Because it's now. Can your
But
case
the
be
lawyer starts to work on the other issues.
Yeah. So
I'm locked in.
So again, if they didn't read your Miranda rights and then you started giving them information, they use that information against you. The rule is that information and any fruit from that information gets thrown out.
Right.
But that Miranda law has so many holes in it.
Now it does.
Now, man, it's. I don't even know why I even call it.
In fact, at some point, I think the Supreme Court is saying that they don't necessarily have to do it.
Yeah. So Miranda, again, there's nothing in the Constitution about Miranda. You understand that?
I agree with that. Yeah.
But what's in the Constitution is the Fifth Amendment.
Right. It's
And
the
it's-
right to be free from unreasonable search.
The
and
Fourth
seizures.
Amendment, the Fifth Amendment,
Yes.
and the Sixth Amendment.
That's right.
And Miranda covers those three amendments.
That's right.
Unlawful or detainer.
Right.
Right to remain. My rights to protect myself, and my right to have a lawyer.
That's right.
So those three amendments are what Miranda covers.
And they keep you from this kind of seizure if it's not proper. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm with
yeah.
you there.
So I do think. Now let me go where Jerome is. Do I think the case can be dismissed because they don't read you your rights? I think I think really the short answer for that specific question is no.
I think so too.
However, if your case, them not reading your Miranda rights, they got evidence that was one of the elements to the charges that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If, like, say, for instance, they didn't give you your Miranda right, but they didn't do an alcohol test, drug test, field sobriety test, and you say, well, I'm drunk as a skunk. I've been drinking all night long.
Oh, we call that an excited utterance.
Well, that ain't Miranda.
No, I know it's not Miranda, but that can be used against you.
I don't think so.
Declarations against your own self-interest.
Again,
So what missing? Tell me what I'm missing.
Again, remember now, this is criminal law now.
Okay.
So I have so if you have me in arrest, you arrested me, right?
Oh, I'm under arrest. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
under arrest,
Uh-huh.
which means I'm on a whole set of other rules.
I got you. Go ahead.
And you got to tell me that I have a right to remain silent. And if I don't remain silent, anything that I use can and will be used against me. So once you have me in custody, right, and you tell me, and you don't tell me that, right? You got me in custody.
Okay.
I can't go nowhere.
Okay.
And you say, man, what is wrong with you? And you say, man, I'm drunk as a skunk. and they didn't do no field sobriety tests. They didn't do any breathalyzers. They didn't do any of those things. Because he didn't give you your Miranda rights, that statement that you made that I'm drunk as a skunk can be thrown out because you have incriminated yourself. You have a right not to incriminate yourself. So you incriminated yourself because they didn't tell you.
Now I'm on the other side now, Darryl. That's absolutely going to be a no. that dude's going to jail.
I ain't saying hold on. He going to jail now.
And the charges is not going nowhere because all they got to do is play that in front of the jury.
He ain't getting to the jury. That's what Miranda's about, dog. I'm not you guys.
I'm drunk as a skunk. I done had 5 beers.
I'm locked up because you handcuffed me. You put me in custody.
Right.
You can't interrogate me because I'm in custody.
Right.
And if I'm talking, you need to tell me I shouldn't be talking. Your job is to say that. And they don't say it like that. But really what they should say to people, because they say you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used. You know.
And are you giving up that right, sir?
Yeah. So not only do you have to say that, but then when they say you have what they should say is, look, you shouldn't be talking to me because if you talk to me, whatever you give me, I'm going to throw it back in your face to get you convicted.
Okay.
That's what they should say.
That's what they should say.
But what they do is they give you this fast off the card. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. If you can afford a lawyer, if you want a lawyer, you can afford one. Mm-hmm. If not, someone will be appointed to you. You understand your rights, you know. And so if you don't say nothing, you don't say yay, nay, whatever.
So you have to.
You don't have to say nothing.
You have to say that I understand.
You don't. I don't think you have to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to say that.
Okay.
Do you? See, yeah, I think I can get away.
Do you understand these rights as I've read them to you? Then I have to either acquiesce or I have to say yes or I don't.
Well, if I say no, what you do?
You got to do it over again.
Okay, you do it again.
You got to keep doing it until.
And I still don't understand.
Until you get an affirmation.
I'm never gonna give you an affirmation.
Well, maybe not, but I have to keep on doing it until you affirm that you understand. Because I could not understand English.
Yeah.
I could be a different speaker. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So unless you have an interpreter on hand, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but okay, here's the problem. Yeah. There is no constitutional right to have to understand English.
Wait a minute, you got to understand what instructions I'm giving you. I think that's wrong. And the reason why is because that's why we have to have interpreters to do certain things.
They do that to protect. Yeah, you got to do that. They do that to protect people's rights.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you is, if you say, if I'm arresting you because you've been under the influence, and I'm asking you, can you do a breathalyzer?
No, I understand English. No English.
I don't,
no English.
I don't, then you look at my driver's license, and it says American,
right.
But I don't understand. I don't speak English.
I don't know English.
So now, if we take your argument to the thing, you can't do a breathalyzer on me because I'm not going to understand.
Because I don't understand. That's right.
You can't Mirandize me because I don't understand.
So the better thing is in the field is to call for a Spanish interpreter.
Everybody ain't Spanish.
No, well, I mean whatever language they speak.
Man, we got Ethiopians here. We got Nigerians here. We got Somalians here, and they all speak a different dialect.
Oh, that's true.
So we got.
Now that'll get it thrown out.
Yeah, we got.
If I'm a different speaker and you didn't present it in my language, I think you may have a problem.
There's an argument that you could get you get somewhere with that.
But that's what makes it so beautiful with the law, is that that's why I said there are no absolutes.
Yeah.
When we start thinking about whether or not the person really understood what they were saying or doing or what was happening to them, they may get a chance to rebuke what's been said and say, I never understood anything that they said.
Yeah, like I said, but I mean, we look at, and the only thing I was trying to do is, this guy or this person asked a strict question.
Right.
And, if they didn't read in my rights, can my case be dismissed?
And we both agree the answer is no,
Right.
based on that premise alone.
That premise alone.
Right.
Right. That simple, long premise.
Right.
Could it provide some means to help get your case dismissed? The short answer is yes.
Yes, I agree
You
with you on that.
Because the reality of it is, if the police arrest you and they don't read you your Miranda rights, then that means anything that they use, they can't use against you. But if they already had probable cause to arrest you from the first place, why do I need to get anything from you?
But it also has to be recorded too that they did read it to him.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they would.
What about your body camera?
Everybody, all jurisdictions don't have body camera.
I mean, but if there is a body camera
Yeah, yeah,
available,
yeah, but
and you didn't activate it, that's clearly something that we can use against the
and
arresting officer.
they try
right?
that now.
Yeah.
Right now they try that because most jurisdictions have body cameras.
That's right.
And when you have that body camera, if somebody because the police have the tendency of cutting it off.
That's right.
And so if it's not active, then there's an argument that there's something being hidden.
That's exactly
You
right.
know,
That's exactly right.
And in fact, a lot of jurisdictions, if you don't have your camera, you cut your camera off, you get disciplined. For it.
And you should.
Yeah, you should.
And you should.
Man,
So
the
let's
camera,
not-
the camera protects you.
Yes.
The camera protects you. I mean, it's if you about the business of policing, and you're gonna do what you're supposed to do, I think that camera protects you.
I think you're absolutely
And I
correct
think
on that.
if you're being interrogated, because that's what they would do, Jerome. They bring you in there, they cut the camera on, or they cut the tape recorder on. You start talking. He cut the tape recorder off and said, "Look, I'm trying to help you here.
Right.
If you give me some of this information, I probably can take care of you.
And you probably go home
You-
tonight.
and you can get home tonight."
Right.
Cut the thing off, cut the camera, cut the tape back on. Then they said, "Well, what do you want to say?" "Man, I did this and this and this. You did this. Can I go home?"
Right.
No, you can. You go to jail.
And then they bring you a soda, a sandwich, a Burger King, stop you at Burger King, and
Yeah.
all that stuff,
Yeah.
and buff you up. So,
Yeah.
So a lot of things are being done that are not ethical, and we hope that our officers would be ethical when they're out there on the street patrolling. And that's the difference between the National Guard and police officers who understand how to patrol and how to treat citizens. But someone who's not been trained in that would have a hard time doing it correctly,
I
wouldn't
may
it?
have to disagree with you. I mean, I've
Okay.
been a soldier for many a year,
Okay.
and customer relations is what they teach us in the military.
Okay.
I mean,
But I mean, but policing.
now not policing.
That's what I'm
just talking about.
No, we're talking about policing.
Yeah, they're not policing though.
Yeah.
I mean, the National Guard, they're not policing.
Right.
They're here.
Okay.
But they're not arresting anybody. They don't have any post qualifications. They can't detain anybody. They can't do anything.
Okay.
So they're not arresting. They can't stop you. Now obviously if they see a bunch of commotion and fights and all that, they can get in the middle of that.
Yeah, they can get there. Okay.
But any civilian could do that.
Okay. I got you.
And guess what? Most people don't realize a civilian can arrest you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's government power, ain't it? Citizen arrest, citizen arrest.
Citizen arrest. Citizen arrest. I mean, yeah, and in fact, Tennessee has a statute that says
Yes.
that you can,
Sure. Sure.
But anyway, so down to my last minute, I think, Jerome.
man,
Time was. Look, something that you really want to look into, if you get a chance. Look, educate yourself on the 13th Amendment. Educate
Absolutely.
yourself on the 15th Amendment. Educate yourself on the 19th Amendment. And whether you male, female, or anybody, those three amendments have something that's extremely beneficial for you.
No question about it.
You know.
So the history teaches us there that these rights don't disappear all at once. They erode quietly, legally, and politely. And that's why participation matters. Because when people died for the vote, they weren't dying for convenience. They were dying to give us a voice.
No. I mean, and you're right. I mean, I think, your voice, the law protects your voice.
That's right.
And if you have anything in the world that's extremely, that you want to have protected in the right, that's your right to vote.
That's
I mean,
right.
and the law is that sword that makes sure, and that shield, that you do not lose those rights.
Absolutely.
So, plain and simple, we're going to end this one with, A, do not squander your opportunity to vote, because now you get mad when somebody's in office and you don't want them in office. Hey, if you didn't vote, you provided nothing for them, either in or out. All right, y'all. Another show. Appreciate your time.
Yes.
Hope you have a good Martin Luther King holiday. You know, I mean, now we finally really